Hey everybody, it's Elizabeth and it's here with Miss Marie, and just going to do a quick walkthrough so you can see that she's actually all right. And in the words of Austin, Texas, she's all right, all right, all right. So we did turtle, we hit mud. I did lose a little wooden piece right here. But you know what? In the end of things, with saying how it turtled and how it hit mud, I'm actually going to probably replace this with a throwable or a series of throwables so that if that ever happens again, there's a flotation device, because the first things first when we turtled is making sure that everybody could actually, number one, swim, had a life jacket on. And by the time we got all that, my racing main actually does have a little bit of flotation built into the top of the main, but it wasn't enough. So when we hit the mud and we pulled it back, we have washed it, and there was a windstorm too. So we actually had a little bit of mud come out the bottom and into the mast step. But you can see all the rigging is fine. My Boston Whaler is fine, and my racing sails are fine, so I'm actually just going to tow her home and get her ready to race on Friday. And what I am doing is going back and forth and talking to my rigger on the way home, and basically figuring a way to get the flotation into the mast and also sealing the top of the mast, so if it ever hits mud again, I won't see mud at the mast step because it's properly sealed. And the only thing that I really have to replace at the top of the mast is my Windex, which for a centerboard it's $35. And I did lose a boom kicker, which will cost more, but that's not a critical piece of hardware. It's a nice to have hardware for when I'm taking friends out cruising. But when they say the Boston Whalers are great boats, they are. So we were able to bring her home, and you can't see it because I have a lot of stuff that I have to reorganize. But these self-bailers work. And all the water was drained on the way back. And what happened was we were racing, and these a header hit, and we didn't have time to adjust the sails. It turtled. Once the mast hit the water, I was not strong enough to actually go on the dagger board, even though I put my whole body into it to ride her up. So we did have to get a motorboat to basically tow her up from the mast. And she's fine. So this is the perfect boat for me, because as I'm learning skippers and figuring out what is my real capabilities, because I feel comfortable driving. I drove last year in the Mermaids on a J105, and that's the boat that I really want. There's some sailing skills that I still need, and more importantly, both crew members invited me to come back sailing with them anytime, and they're willing to come back and sail with me. And also, one of them helmed this boat and used to helm centerboards and also loved it. So the rigging was done right and everything is fine. I'm just going to add extra flotation because my lake is deep, and I want to make sure the mast floats in the water so that I can ride her up with my body weight. And I'm pretty strong because I'm a trimmer on a J105, and I can hold a 5-minute plank, but I'm not stronger than mud on a mast. And then when the boom hit the mud as well, I'm definitely not strong enough. But they did use my counterweight to help ride her up, and I could actually take her sailing today here, but I'm going to go home to Austin because I'm coming back here on Saturday to race again on a bigger boat. So signing off. And also the other thing that's really special about this boat is the reason why behind the name is I literally bought her for $2. And I've spent the last year trying to figure out how to get her restored, because I realized there's things that I can do, but in Austin my allergies are so bad that I really can't do as much boat work as I thought I could. And I am healthier here in Seabrook with the salt air. I haven't taken a single allergy pill today, and I've only taken one allergy pill in the last 4 days. Basically, the day after the big windstorm here. And the other thing is with the windstorms, because I'm a traveling boat, I tied her down, and some of the wind can be really strong where it actually knocked off 2 other boats that weren't keel boats off their trailers. So don't take things for granted. Remember to tie down your stuff, and also make sure you take care of your crew first and then the boat. And I'm glad the Boston Whaler and we have bonded now, and Miss Marie and I have definitely bonded, and she wants to keep sailing because boy was she planing when the turtle happened, and we were going fast. I think at least I don't have 6 to 8 knots, and we were actually faster definitely than the Ensigns and the Catalina 22s for sure, in catching up with the fleet. And I'm just going to say, I think being on a tippy boat on a centerboard will make me a stronger sailor when I get a big keel boat that's heavy. And so when it's, you know, insurance on a $2 boat with about $1,500 into it is still cheaper than a laser that I can take my friends out on, and we can all have a great time cruising. And I get the sailing skills that I want, so that when I have a bigger boat, I have more confidence, and I just feel like I've grown because of this experience, and also now thinking in things differently. So just remember, if you're ever skippering a boat, make sure you take care of your crew first, then the boat. That's what insurance is for. Signing off.